It's designed to affect taste,
Vitalizer one is better than the other one, for sure.
hydration, absorption,
Feel silkier.
and perhaps most incredibly, your strength, flexibility, and energy. Amazing.
Wow. Crazy.
Well, salud. I'm loving it.
Go to www.vitalizerapp.com and make your smartphone brilliant.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Hi, this is Faith. Welcome to the Faith Washington Show. We will discuss life, business, leadership, family, and fun, and what happens when your view of the world expands. A wide variety of guests will provide insight on how they do business, family, and leadership in their lives. So now, here's today's show. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Faith Washington Show. We are live on Facebook, Periscope, 95.3 FM, 1470 AM, and the iHeartRadio app, WWNN. Tonight, I have an amazing guest, Leslie Carmen, and she is from Carmen Care Laser Advanced Therapy. Guys, if you have never, ever experienced laser therapy, you need to hear this show. It's going to be amazing. Leslie, thank you so much for joining me. Can't tell you how much I appreciate you being here. She has personally, healed some of my wonderful friends who are about to go under the knife for back surgery, knee surgery, etc. And they didn't have to do that. So you want to listen in and listen carefully. I'm so excited. Leslie, give us a little bit about your background, please, so that we kind of know.
Thank you, Faith, for having me here, and good night. Good evening, everybody.
We're great. We're happy to have you here.
Thank you. So I was born in New York, but I was raised in Zurich, Switzerland.
Oh,
and
there you go. That was a different experience.
Yeah. And I studied some medical school over there, and I came back here to Florida about 25 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've been here for a while, seen all the
sure
hurricanes.
have. Yes, right. Too many.
So tell me how you began this endeavor of laser therapy.
Mm-hmm. Well, my daughter Lee, at 17 years old, she developed a disease called trigeminal neuralgia. Don't know if many people know about it, but it's like facial stabbing pain. It's horrific. It's like out of nowhere, somebody will come and you feel like somebody's coming and stabbing you in the face with a knife. And there's really not a lot of hope and things that you can do. We were recommended to have either on pain medication, right, or anti-seizure medication, or surgery, brain surgery. And I was just not about to let that happen. And because I grew up in Switzerland, I have a medical background, I knew there's got to be something else. Let's try something else first. You can always do the surgery, but let's try something else first. So I did a lot of research and came across that laser therapy was being used to heal, to regenerate nerves, and thought this would be, a great option. We found one place here in the United States that did it at the time, and we signed up and we went up there and treated her, and within 2 weeks she got better. And having such an experience like that, it just becomes life-changing. And I just decided I cannot stay on the course that I was before. I was just in an office working, and although I loved my job, but I was like, no, this had a bigger purpose. There was a bigger meaning behind all of this. And I just decided to change my entire life. And the next week when Lee flew back home to school, I flew back up there and got training immediately. And I started since 2010. I've been involved in laser therapy.
Wow. And I want to share with the audience that over the years, I have treated so many patients that had trigeminal neuralgia. I can't begin to tell you the absolute excruciating pain, the inability to chew correctly, to sleep, to be able to function in a normal way, and how many drugs I saw come across my plate that doctors prescribed trying to help these patients. None of them worked. None of them. I had one particular patient, and I really wish that she could have really come on the show so she could meet you. But she had a very, very serious problem with trigeminal neuralgia. And it pretty much made her non-functional. And, she was just such a gift because she was so sweet and so loving and kind. But everything she tried didn't work. And if I would have had someone like you, Leslie, to be able to refer her to immediately and say, hey, listen, let's do the laser, the light therapy to help her, she would have been in so much less pain. And I don't think the audience understands how much it alters your life. If you have back pain, if you have knee pain, like our friend Steve, if you have shoulder pain, if you have something that, the doctors tell you, hey, listen, you need to get this operated on. We need to cut this. You can get this modified. You can get this helped. There's help here with the laser therapy. And, I've even taken my daughter for her brain and for her intestinal issues to Leslie and seen a difference in one treatment. So I want the audience to be aware of that, and I want them to understand this as much as we can. Okay, from a layman's terms, not everybody understands that it's a quantum physics, quantum mechanics universe, and things work differently than what we see on the surface. But your daughter probably tried the tricyclic antidepressants.
Correct,
She
right.
probably tried the anti-seizure medications. Folks, these are really heavy-duty drugs, not great. They're things that work on your brain, and they work in your intestines, first brain, second brain, and they're not a good solution for this particular type of problem. Neither are they a good solution for your back, for your shoulders, your knees, your joints, etc.
It's developing so many side effects.
Yes.
that
And
you're
the side effects are not going to promote healing.
Right. It's just masking as well.
Exactly. And we don't want to do that. And so you did this the Switzerland therapy, and you got trained, and you learned that you could heal people through the body's natural systems
Correct.
by literally allowing the body to do what it naturally does, which is go back to homeostasis. I've talked about this. I talk about this in almost every show. If we're talking about anything medical, homeostasis is the body's natural state to go back to where perfect is, or where you began, or what the body is naturally supposed to do, where it's supposed to come to. And you research the laser therapy, and tell us about that. I want to hear about laser therapy.
Sure.
Why does it work?
Why it works.
Yes.
So I'm sure a lot of people say, well, how can it help with a knee and with trigeminal neuralgia that's so bad, and with the back and with stomach aches and all these different things? Well, if we go back and we look at the question, who are we? What are we? Yeah. We are just cells. We forget that, right? You look at an arm and you think, oh, it's my arm. But no, you're muscle cells, bone cells, tissue cells, just everything.
And they're all integrated.
All integrated.
This is the key, okay?
Yep.
We're all integrated. Starts here. Your spirit comes through your emotional, mental, physical, your body. Those cells are all integrated. They're not separate.
Right, we're just one. And they communicate with each other. So, and that's the beauty. If one cell has a problem, it'll actually communicate to the next cell will try and help, and so forth. So if we just understand that first instance, that we are just cells, then we can understand how laser helps and why we can help with so many other issues. So let's talk about the laser itself. The laser is giving us light. It's giving us little packages of light.
Photons.
Photons.
And we call those, in physics, they're photons. Right.
And some people say, well, laser, I've heard about laser. It's the one that, for your eyes and your skin. And we're like, no. This does not burn or cut. And I like to give the analogy of water. Water is healing. But if you take that water and you put it through a pressure cleaner, it's going to cut your toes off, right?
Yeah,
if you're
dangerous.
barefoot.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, or a raging river cuts through rock. Yes.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
I get that.
Right. So now you take that water, though, and you put it in a watering can. You can actually water a beautiful flower. The water will
Gently.
drip very down. Yeah.
And it's
deep-
gentle.
Gentle, goes deep into the roots of the flower. So that's the water. That's the delivery that makes it either dangerous, cutting off your toe, or nutrients,
So the
giving
same
nutrients.
with laser light.
Same thing with laser light. The laser surgery, that's that light compressed very tight into like a little
Like a very
pinpoint.
fine pinpoint
Exactly.
or
very concentrated, hot.
Okay.
So that'll cut and burn. But the laser therapy that we give, that light is spread out on a bigger cone, and it is just delivered in such a gentle way that it will never, never cut or burn or cause any side effects whatsoever. It penetrates very, very deep because it's light. So it's passing from one cell to another, and it's
Okay.
starting to heal.
Okay. And so this healed your daughter,
Right.
led you into the life that you have really led, and I personally know multiple people that she has helped with the laser therapy, and I'm in awe, including my daughter. So let's go back to the body. The cells divide.
Right?
They go from a baby cell when you're born, then you grow up and you're a young adult, then you become an adult, and then you have the different types of muscle cells, nerve cells, brain cells, every type of cell in the body. And those cells each have what's known as a powerhouse, the power center, which is known as the mitochondria. And let's talk a little bit about how the laser therapy affects those little powerhouses.
So the laser light goes directly through, and you start at the skin. So you already have, your cells on the skin, and it goes through the blood. The red blood cells actually absorb this light and bring it to any damaged and diseased cells, which is fantastic. So many different things happen, including increasing the microcirculation because of that, right? Decreasing inflammation instantly. Sometimes we'll have somebody, they'll have the bone on bone, as they call it, inflamed knee.
Right.
And you can literally see the inflammation go down.
Okay,
as
so
we're
so
treating.
let's just stay on this for 1 second, because inflammation is a really big trigger word right now.
Yeah.
People are learning that inflammation is for the body is not a good thing. It's not healthy. It's not healthy if it's coming from your food, you're eating bad things, you're drinking bad water, unstructured water, which we know is not, it's dead, it's not live. And this inflammation creates dis-ease, it creates disease. And if the photons that you use in the laser therapy are coming in such a gentle way, and they're literally creating a more healthful state for your body, like there's no drawback on that.
None whatsoever. You're going to just see positive side effects. It's one of the things that actually happens is you start getting tired sometimes at night. And I always explain to the patient, it's really our body is so intelligent because it cannot heal when we're out there working and doing
Right.
things. It can only heal when we sleep. So it's even doing that where
Say
it's
that
causing,
I want you to say that for the audience. Look in the camera
Yes.
and tell them one more time.
Yes.
Your body only heals.
your body
when-
will only heal when you sleep. And that's
why is that?
What I've learned is your brain is active when you're up and doing things, obviously, and your cells are listening to your brain. So they're ready to, fall or
Execute.
do this or
Yeah.
they're just ready for a command. It is only when your brain goes to sleep and it's just in that state that we were talking about where you're just completely out, and that's when your cells say, okay, great, the body's asleep, we're all good, we can now start healing. Now we can start doing the things that we're supposed to do. And that's why your body becomes tired, because it just needs that time to heal.
So do you think that window of healing time is different for every person?
For sure, yes. Everybody's different. And that not just for the healing time, but it really depends on their root cause of their disease that they have. Some people
Okay.
could be very toxic. Some people could have an emotional issue.
What creates
All those
toxicity,
things.
Leslie? What
So,
creates toxicity?
All the things, unfortunately, that are in the air, in the water, in the food, even
Air,
our garments,
water,
like, the fire retardant pajamas,
Oh.
they have caused a huge problem in
so
fertility.
clothing, okay.
Clothing, As I said, water. There's so much chromium in the water, copper.
Chromium in a bad way, because that particular chromium, it's not chromium perchlorate. It's just regular chromium that is not absorbed into the cells, but it does go into the body and create havoc. But chromium perchlorate is a very well absorbed item that actually helps the body. But
True,
it has
but
to be
if
in the
it's-
right salt form. And that's all about, look, that's biochemistry and chemistry. We're not going to get onto that.
Or let's say copper. I had a patient.
Yes, too much copper.
And he
Wilson's disease.
he developed lots of arthritis.
Yeah.
And when we found copper in his body through the muscle testing process that we do, he then looked back and saw, wow, I actually lived in Nevada where there were so many copper mines. And that's where he had gotten
And that's
all
where
that
he
copper.
got all the copper. Wow. Did he have Wilson's disease?
No, he did not.
That's a miracle of God, because normally that excess copper causes Wilson's disease.
Yeah.
You don't want that. Like, makes your eyes weird. It's not good. It's not good for your neurons.
So the light will also increase the myelin sheath production and stem cell production.
Okay, so you're telling me that when you laser someone, it doesn't matter where you laser them, okay,
More or less, doesn't more or less a little bit.
that it's going to
Decrease inflammation.
decrease inflammation,
Increase the blood flow, the
blood flow,
microcirculation.
microcirculation. So in other words, the red blood cells are carrying more blood flow to
More
those
oxygen and
those
so forth.
little areas that don't normally get as much oxygen and blood flow. Okay, and
It increases the growth of the myelin sheath.
so the myelin sheath is part of your nervous system. Myelin sheath is part of the brain, spinal column, and all the nerves in your body that are required to basically carry information from the brain telling you, you need to do this, and it goes back to the brain and gives it a signal and says, no, we don't want to do that, and then it sends out another signal. So the afferent, efferent neurons, all right, with the myelin sheath, okay, it's very, very important. Now, this is, okay, my curiosity, it's killing me. Okay, how is this effective in somebody with Lou Gehrig's disease who has myelin sheath degeneration? There are plenty of disease states that cause myelin sheath degeneration, including issues such as multiple sclerosis. You've got issues there. You've got lesions in the brain, spinal column, and their ability to actually be able to move. And then you have the Lou Gehrig's disease. And
Parkinson's,
Parkinson's is a very big deal because lesions in the brain lead to an inability to function appropriately.
Well, what's really beautiful right now is Dr. Wolf, who trained me 5 years ago and has been
Dr.
part of
Wolf,
the
what's
clinic.
it-
He's a
Dr.
neurologist.
Okay, where's he at?
He's in Kendall, Miami right now,
Oh,
but he's
okay.
in our clinic every week, every Thursday,
Oh.
Thursday, Friday. Yeah.
So he comes.
He comes
okay,
every
Thursday,
Thursday.
Friday. Dr. Kendall is there. Okay.
Dr. Wolf.
Dr. Wolf.
From
excuse me,
Kendall.
from
That's okay.
Kendall. Dr. Wolf from Kendall. Excuse me. Okay.
So, but the beauty of that, so now because he's part of the team, we are specializing in all the neurological disorders, especially Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, because there are so many studies. So Dr. Wolf has studied years and years and years of this, seeing that laser therapy has such a huge impact on the brain. And that all disease really stems from the brain as well. And when we treat the brain, we can see increasingly, well, I want to be careful what I
Yes,
say, right?
please,
But
please,
I'll
yes.
just say that we see results. We see positive results in people with Parkinson's and Alzheimer's.
So in other words, there is cellular change that occurs
Yeah.
in scans of somebody's brain who has had laser therapy from their beginning point. Okay, you start at the beginning, you do a scan. It's like, okay, it looks like thus and such, and then you give them the treatments, and then you see a difference because you see a difference because of their behavior.
Exactly.
Their behavior, their cognitive abilities, their ability to physically control their bodies. This is a big deal, folks. I don't know if you really quite get the magnitude of what's occurring here with Leslie's therapy, but it's really enormous. And, of course, we can't say that it does this or does that or heals, etc. But until you experience it yourself, please, 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 if you have issues, call the number 561-405-9577. That's 561-405-9577. And that is for Leslie's Carmen Care Advanced Laser Therapy. I can assure you it'll be the best visit that you ever made.
Thank you. Yes.
True.
It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get up in the morning excited to go to work. It's not even work. It's my
It
passion.
isn't. It's your passion.
We-
I got that the first time I met you. I was like, yeah. Now I get it.
It's just so much fun. It's so much fun. We have people come to us that have seen so many doctors, therapists, and they've just lost hope.
Yeah, because
And-
they feel like there is no hope. Okay,
Yeah.
either you cut on me and I lose all the physical mobility, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just perish because I've got Parkinson's or multiple sclerosis or Lou Gehrig's disease. Really? Nobody wants to feel that way. It's
Mm-hmm. No.
like a hopelessness in the mind. The mind controls the body. And when you start to show them a little hope,
Mm-hmm.
then their mind begins to take over, which is the most powerful thing.
Absolutely. And the thing is that we don't have any fear of anybody coming in. So I'm not afraid, and Dr. Wolf is not afraid of anybody coming in for consultation, because we know that there's so much hope. There's so much hope. There's so many things come from toxins or come from, heavy metals. And we just address that. We give them laser therapy. We help them with the Psyche, and then we just start seeing healing and healing over and over and over
So
again.
explain to us just briefly, what is
Mm-hmm.
Psyche?
So Psyche is one of those three T's. So we developed a protocol called the T3 protocol.
Okay.
And what we're doing there is we are addressing the trauma of the cells, which is with the laser, with the light. Then we address the toxins that are within the cells, within our body, with the laser energy detoxing, and that's a completely different laser. And then the third
Oh, wait,
is...
so you're saying there's different lasers?
Oh, we have all sorts of different lasers.
Okay, perfect.
Different
Okay,
lasers,
different
classes,
lasers,
all
classes.
different things. Yeah,
okay.
all different classes, different lasers, pulsed, high-powered, low-powered.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're all
And so
sorts
you
of
have to know exactly how to treat someone
Correct.
with what they come in with in order for them to heal.
to heal, right?
Awesome.
Awesome, right? So that third T stands for treating the thoughts, because so many things are emotional. They're thoughts. It's
Agreed.
who we are and what we believe
The
in.
habits
The
that we've
habits.
developed. In
Yeah.
other words, your subconscious, your conscious mind. It's like people do very dysfunctional things because they feel comfortable. It's a habit. It's what they continue to do over and over and over again because it makes them feel like home.
Right. Or they're self-destructive.
Oh, they're self-destructive only because they don't love themselves,
Right.
because they've never been taught
Exactly.
that if you love yourself, then it makes it a whole lot easier to love other people.
And
if
to
you
love
lo-
yourself and heal
Yeah.
and start healing.
And then you start to heal from those things that make you feel like a victim. Look, folks, I hate to tell you this. In my house, there are no victims. You're not a victim, you're a victor. So in being a victor, that means that your mind has to take control of your body. And I think that's part of what you're talking about
Right.
with
The
this with
Psyche.
Psyche.
You
is
rebalance.
that rebalancing the thought process so that you're not out there in left field feeling constantly negative, taking
Right.
in everybody else's thoughts about you. Wait, I'd say something, but I can't say it on air. Yeah, it's the title of my new book. Give a few less of these and you have no problems at all. Yeah, I think some of my friends know what that is. I know you know what that is. And it's really the dropping the negativity and beginning to upload the positivity,
Right.
which really creates a much different environment for the brain. It is an environment of embracing change. It is an environment of bathing the cells in happiness and goodness and realizing, you know what, you can heal yourself. You
Bathing
just
it
tell
in love.
yourself,
Love
yes,
is
bathing
healing.
in love. That's what God's all about. God is all about that love flow from him to you out into the rest of the world. Rivers of living water. And they can't come from us until we give them to ourselves.
When you talked about the light, we are light.
We are
God is light. laser is light.
Yes.
What better combination than that?
There can't be any better combination than that, because it's really what we're about. And the more we recognize that we are energetic beings, and that the energy that is around us, we bring in. So I like to tell people this. This is a kind of a funny thing for me, is that sometimes people will come to me and they'll say, well, thus and such a place is negative, or this place is really good. And, you know, as a business coach, a life coach, I just say, you know what? There's a mirror over there. Take a look at that mirror, because whatever it is that you are experiencing, you're bringing in. You're the person, not everyone around you. It's you. You create your experience. You're the person who builds that. And that's exactly what you magnetize in.
Absolutely. When people are aggressive towards you, it's always their aggression that they're feeling. If they're yelling at you, it's really their unhappiness, their anger.
It isn't about you.
Never, you know the Four Agreements, the book, The Four Agreements? The first one is don't take things personally.
Never.
Never. It's never
Because
you.
it's not about you. It's about them.
Them.
But
they're feeling.
But wait. But then you go deeper and you realize, you know what? You realize it's really you who magnetized that person in. What are you going to do about that? Are you going to stay in it? As a coach, I would tell you, maybe you could ask yourself some better questions. How does it get any better than this? And then your brain is able to think, I can make this better than this.
Love that.
It's a choice. It's really a choice. And that's, once again, back to homeostasis. You line the cells up in accordance with the homeostasis and create that environment of healing. That's what you do. That's what your whole team does.
And it's so simple. It's not even that complicated.
It really is simple, but people don't recognize or understand it, Leslie. And that's why we wanted you to come on the show. Please, folks, I want you to at least call her center. It's in Boca Raton. It is 561-405-9577. 561-405-9577. Leslie Carmen, and she's got an amazing team. I've been there. When you walk in, you feel at home, you feel welcome, you feel like, wow, this is the place to be. I can assure you've got knee, shoulder, back, anything that somebody wants to cut on, please don't do it. Go see Leslie first. Please, 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 internal organs, disease of any sort, go see her. Thank you so much, Leslie. Thank you for being on.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, folks, for joining us. We're live on Facebook, Periscope, 95.3 FM, 1470 AM, and the iHeartRadio app, WWNN. We'll see you next week on Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week. Bye-bye. You've been listening and watching The Faith Washington Show, where we have